never in my diet history did I lose weight and maintain the weight loss. It was always, I lost the weight, I burnt out, I said screw it, I went back to eating the foods that I love. But with fasting, I've made it fit my life. Okay, so you might be a new faster and wondering, how do I start this perfectly? I'm gonna share with you how I would start intermittent fasting today. As someone who's been fasting for 3 years, here are my tips and tricks to help you start off on the right foot. My number one tip is to read Fast, Feast, Repeat. This is the book that started it all for me, and I think it is a really good book for anyone that wants a scientific background or even a real world experience. It's a great hybrid of Jen Stevens, the author, of her experience fasting, scientific background. She is a faster herself who has lost a lot of weight. She shares not only her journey, but she shares a lot of the science. So you get encouraged and you get the backbone of why fasting is effective and how it can help you. I think that this is like the number one piece of advice. Read this book. It answers a lot of questions that I get from you guys in comments. What should I have? Can I drink this? Can I eat this? This is what started me. This is where I get my basis of a lot of my answers from. And I think that anyone that reads this is going to get a really good start into fasting. It's linked below. I definitely recommend you read this. Not only does Jen tell you about different fasting protocols, she really encourages you to change it up, not be afraid to try different things. And that's my second piece of advice, is to definitely be flexible in how you implement intermittent fasting. You might see me as someone who does OMAD daily and think, okay, I want the same success Jackie has, I'm gonna do OMAD, but then you try it and you don't love it. You're not stuck to OMAD. You need to give yourself the grace and the flexibility to try other patterns. Maybe you do alternate day fasting a little bit and OMAD a little bit, and then you have a couple longer eating windows. It's definitely okay to make your own path, to try different things and see what works for you. How I eat is different than how you eat, and we should all be encouraged to find the perfect pattern for us. My third piece of advice is to clean fast. I know it's not fun, it doesn't sound sexy, but I like to drink only plain black coffee. I have a cup right here right now. Plain tea. I don't like hot tea, so I drink iced tea in the summer, and then plain water, whether it is my absolute favorite sparkling water or if it's just plain iced tap water. Plain water, plain coffee, plain tea. You don't get the flavorings, and I know that could be a hard transition for some of you, but when you add things like cream or lemon or apple cider vinegar or peppermint drops or cinnamon, all of those flavors have the potential to make you feel like you're about to eat. Your body might release insulin expecting to get food, and that's going to make it much harder to get through the fast. And that's why I don't have anything other than coffee, water, tea in my eating window. And going back to my advice number one, Jen really outlines the do's and don'ts of a clean fast. I also have made a video on it. I will link that below, but I definitely recommend clean fasting. I think it has really allowed me to successfully have longer fasts to feel good while I'm fasting. And honestly, I've never heard from someone that does clean fasting and they say that they felt better not doing it that way. Do I think not doing a clean fast makes it impossible to do intermittent fasting? No, I don't. But I think it's much easier and much more beneficial to do the clean fast, and that's how I would recommend you implement it as well. My fourth piece of advice, especially if you like to do longer fasts like I do, I regularly have 24 to 40 hour fasts. I like to incorporate Element electrolytes as part of my fasting and eating windows, and they're actually the sponsor of today's video. Element is a science-backed electrolyte blend that is made up of 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams magnesium. They don't have any fillers, they don't have any junk, they're simply delicious, and I really like to have all of the flavored ones in my eating window. We're going back to the clean fast here, and then if I am in a longer fast, I like to have the unflavored, and I'll add that to iced tea or coffee. It's definitely an acquired taste for the unflavored, but the flavored ones are so delicious, and that's why I include them in every single eating window. Element does sponsor my channel quite regularly, but I only continue to partner with them because I absolutely love them. I spent the first 2 years of fasting without Element as part of my fasting regimen. However, when I did those 40-hour fasts or 24-hour fasts, I tended to get sore legs, and someone actually suggested in a comment that I should look into electrolytes and that might help bridge that gap. And sure enough, I can get through my longer fast without sore legs anymore because I regularly take Element.
Right now, Element is offering my listeners a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single-serve packets free with any Element order. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors or to share Element with a salty friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/fastingfoodie. That's DRINKLMNT.com/fastingfoodie.
One of the really good things about fasting is it's free. You don't need all of this stuff, and I don't think that you have to have Element to fast, but it is a great addition and something that I've really enjoyed adding to my daily protocol for fasting. My 5th piece of advice is to track all of your fasts. I really like the tracking and the data, and if you are at all a numbers person, I think it can be really encouraging to look back at what you've done, and it pushes you to go forward. Right now I can look at the face of my watch and see that I've been fasting for 16 hours and 42 minutes. It's a really easy glimpse. I don't obsess about it, but it gives me a good point of where I'm at in my day. It alerts me when I hit my 18-hour minimum, and it's a really great tool to have. Things that I would look for in a tracking mechanism. 1, that it's compatible with your phone. I have an Apple Watch. It's really important to me that it's compatible with my watch. I'm very lucky that the one I started with does work with my Apple Watch, because I didn't get an Apple Watch until about 2 years into fasting, but I love having my Zero fasting app on my watch. I use the free version of the Zero app and I absolutely love it. Here's the thing, I've never tried another app. I've never done another one. I don't have any comparisons to share with you. A friend suggested to me the Zero app. I downloaded it, and since it started, I have a streak of almost 1,000 fasts in a row, and I don't want to break the streak, so I've never looked into another one. So I don't have any comparisons for you, but I do love the Zero app. I use the free version. I haven't paid for the premium, and I think it's a really great tool. I can set my minimum to 18 hours. It alerts me when I hit my 18 hours. I can easily check on my watch band how much time is left. And I have historical data all the way to the beginning. And it's fun for me and encouraging for me to look back on what I've done, and it propels me to continue to do more. My 6th piece of advice is to connect with other fasters. When you start intermittent fasting, you might get a lot of discouragement or a lot of negative comments from those in your life that aren't interested in fasting. They might think you're starving yourself. They might think you have an eating disorder. If they've never looked into fasting and they don't know the science behind why it's beneficial, they might think you're crazy. If you join a community of like-minded fasters, it's going to be really great to have a pool of people that understand what you're going through, that can answer questions. Hey, do you have diarrhea when you open your eating window? Or how do you implement OMAD? Or how do you like to do down days and up days? That language is foreign and unknown to those that don't fast. But if you're part of a community, you can ask those questions without embarrassment, without having to explain what you mean on every single thing, and you're going to have people that believe in fasting answering you. When I first started fasting, I obviously wasn't sharing anything about it on my YouTube channel, so I was really connected to Facebook groups. I like to follow different fasters on Instagram, and of course, YouTube is a great resource. You can even join my lives every single Wednesday where I try to chat one-on-one. I'm not the best about comments because I protect my mental health. There's too many of them, and there's a lot of nasty things, and it's just easier to not spend too much time in the comments. I also don't have the ability to respond to comments individually all the time, so I try to connect with you guys on lives, and I love seeing people talk to each other in the lives, and also I get to chat with you guys. So that is one way that is great to build community. Even better if you can find someone in your own life that does fasting. My 7th and final piece of advice is be flexible. Make fasting fit your life. Do not make your life fit fasting. If you want something that's sustainable, you want something that's enjoyable, you have to make fasting fit your life, and it's totally doable. If you have a normal lunch that you get to meet with friends or coworkers and it's something that's important to you, make sure you build that day for your fasting schedule to accommodate that. Or if every Friday is pizza night with your family, make sure your eating window can incorporate that. Don't make a schedule that's going to make you feel left out of the food participation that you love. Additionally, I wouldn't exclude foods that you love, because if you're not going to be able to eat the foods that you love, again, that's making your lifestyle fit the fast, not your fast fit the lifestyle. If it's important to you to go get ice cream during the summer, make that part of your eating window. That can still be a joyful part of your day, and still get in a good fast. You just have to make the two work together. It takes time, it takes building your fasting muscle, but you'll get there. And being flexible and making fasting fit your life is what's going to make it sustainable. That's how I've been able to do it for 3 years. Never in my diet history did I lose weight and maintain the weight loss. It was always, I lost the weight, I burnt out, I said screw it, I went back to eating the foods that I love. But with fasting, I've made it fit my life. I can incorporate anything that's important in my life into my eating window, and I fast around it, and it's sustainable, it's enjoyable, and I hope you find the same thing. I get questions often, can I still take this medication? When should I do my vitamins? I normally take this in the morning, but I want to be fasting. I honestly cannot answer any of those questions for you, and I wouldn't want to try to answer them for myself. Talk with your doctor on medical concerns. If you want to see me enjoying my eating window on a daily basis and how I fit fasting to fit my day, you can check out this week where I shared every single thing that I ate for an entire week long as an intermittent faster without dieting. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao, Donna, ciao.